In the old Sisi films, Helene in Bavaria, known in her family as Nene, is often portrayed as the forgotten sister. The one left behind, the quiet, tragic figure standing in the shadow of a famous empress. But that image tells only a small part of the story. Helene was born on April 4, 1834, into Bavarian royalty, the daughter of Duke Max and Princess Ludovica. She grew up at Possenhofen Castle with her younger sister Elisabeth, far from the rigid routines of imperial court life. Their childhood was intentionally free. Long days outdoors, music, reading, languages. The sisters were inseparable. They even spoke English together as a private language, a world of their own.
We have to leave before dawn, sister.
Yet from an early age, they were very different. Elisabeth was restless and adventurous. Helene was calm, focused, and quietly observant. While her sister rode horses and sought freedom, Helene preferred sitting with her sewing, absorbed in careful work. Their mother noticed. Helene seemed serious, disciplined, perhaps too responsible for her age. But to Ludovica, those very qualities made Helene seem perfectly suited for a future at court. Their early years were not untouched by hardship. A loss within the household introduced both sisters to grief at a young age. For Helene especially, it left a lasting impression. She grew inward, reflective, mature beyond her years. As she grew older, Helene became known for her steady presence. She was deeply religious, socially engaged, and formed a lifelong bond with Elisabeth. A bond that would soon be tested. The young Emperor of Austria was expected to marry. His mother, Archduchess Sophie, began her search carefully. Her choice seemed obvious: Helene in Bavaria. Responsible, composed, prepared for court life. A meeting was arranged in Bad Ischl. The expectation was clear. This journey was meant to end in an engagement. Helene traveled with her mother and her younger sister. Her father remained behind, preferring a life of music, travel, and independence over court formalities. And then, everything changed. The emperor did not choose Helene. Instead, he fell in love with Elisabeth. The announcement stunned everyone. Helene stepped aside. Her sister became an empress. Despite the disappointment, Helene did not turn away. She stayed close to Elisabeth, even at court, even during the wedding. When the young empress was overwhelmed, it was Helene who stood quietly beside her, steady, reliable, unseen. But outside the palace, the story was different. Helene was now labeled the one who was passed over. A difficult position for a young woman of her time. Many wondered if she would ever find her place. Helene chose not to withdraw. Back at Possenhofen, she dedicated herself to helping others. She visited the sick, supported those in need, and offered comfort without seeking attention. The local people gave her a name of their own, the Angel of Possenhofen. Then came an unexpected turn. A serious suitor entered her life, Maximilian of Thurn and Taxis. He knew Helene not as a court figure, but as a person. He admired her character, her strength, her calm nature. Their engagement marked a new beginning. The wedding was celebrated despite gray skies and steady rain. Lanterns reflected on the lake. Music played. Fireworks lit the evening. It was not a fairy tale, but it was real. Helene's new life in Regensburg brought stability and purpose. She became a mother, raising her children with the same care and discipline that had shaped her own life. Yet once again, responsibility called her away. When Empress Elisabeth's health declined, Helene was urgently summoned. Leaving her young children behind, she traveled south to be at her sister's side. Her presence made a difference.
I pray you are correct. The people are suffering.
Slowly, Elizabeth regained strength. At court, people noticed. Helene was described as calming, sensible, someone who brought balance in times of uncertainty. Back home, life continued. More children were born. The family settled into routine. Then, without warning, Helene's life shifted once more. Her husband's health failed, and she found herself raising 4 children alone. She did not collapse under the weight. Instead, Helene took control. She managed family affairs, oversaw estates connected to the family, and proved herself a capable administrator. Under her guidance, the family's position remained secure. When her eldest son was old enough, she stepped back quietly. Not long after, another devastating loss struck the family. Once again, Helene gathered herself and carried on, for the sake of those who depended on her. In her later years, she withdrew from public life. She lived simply, surrounded by books, memories, and faith. Time became less important. Appearances no longer mattered. When her health declined, Elizabeth came to her side one final time. The sisters spoke in English, just as they had in childhood. About life, about endurance, about everything they had shared. Helene in Bavaria was never an empress. She never sought the spotlight. But when others faltered, she remained.
I was so afraid this moment would never come. We are safe now. Nothing else matters.
History remembers the glittering figures, but sometimes it is the quiet ones, the steady ones, who carry the greatest weight. Helene was not forgotten by those who truly knew her. She was strong, without spectacle,